welcome to my channel. My name is Shami, but you can call me Shami because I know how hard it is for some people to pronounce. So this is gonna be a video about my pregnancy. Oh my god, this cat hair. Shami. This is my son. He is about to be 7 months next month on the 8th. Okay. I have filmed this like 3 times and deleted each time because it was way too long and I was like, I'm not trying to write a book. Alright, so I'm gonna make this really fast, or at least try. Oh, sorry. Just watch his TV. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you how I found out, what went wrong during the pregnancy, and then what came about to having him. Okay, so I was around 7 weeks without knowing I was pregnant, of course, and of course there were little signs like I was sleeping 10 to 14 hours a day because I was just completely drained, and I didn't like the stuff that I used to like fast food was a big no from me because every time I was like, yeah, I want fast food, like let's go get McDonald's, I would instantly just regret it. Like I just hated it. I had really severe morning sickness that started around 7.5 weeks till 5.5 months. I decided to take a pregnancy test because I'd woken up one day and threw up and instantly just knew. I was like, nope, I'm pregnant. Like this, like I don't usually ever get sick unless I have really high stress, which is really weird because like I can get colds and stuff, but I never usually get sick to where I'm throwing up. I ended up telling my boyfriend and we ended up going to get a pregnancy test. I had taken it while he went to the store to go get cigarettes, and of course it came out positive, but I didn't tell him I took it or anything. So he ended up going to work and stuff, and then came back for his lunch break, and I was like, okay, like, you know, this is it, I'm gonna tell you. And he was like, yeah, like, what do you want to talk about? And sorry, my hair's like all messy. And I had told him, and I was like, yeah, so like I'm pregnant. And you know, he was really shocked, and he was just like really? And I was like, yeah, like I'm pregnant and we need to go get prenatals or something. And because my health care was in Washington and I had just moved to Oregon recently with my boyfriend, and so like I couldn't go to the doctors or anything until I, you know, changed my health care providers. So I went and got prenatals, and I made an appointment with a more community pregnancy place. So they did an ultrasound there. They also did a pregnancy test there as well to confirm my pregnancy, and they told me how far along I was and stuff. And you know, so we did an ultrasound and we got to see him, and it was still pretty freaking shocking. It was still hard to believe because I was like, no way, like I can't be pregnant. I never thought I would be pregnant. You know, I was 18 years old. Like I thought I wouldn't be pregnant until, like, you know, until my 20s and, you know, mid-20s. And okay, so I had a very sick pregnancy from that time till 5.5 months. I was super sick all the time. I went to the hospital twice for dehydration because I couldn't keep anything down. Like I did everything I could. I followed every little, you know, just remedies and stuff, and it just never worked for me. I couldn't keep anything down and I got really sick. Around 25 weeks, I ended up having a stroke. I woke up one day and my arm was completely numb. Before that, him and I both knew something was wrong. I was swelling up all the time. I would get contractions at like 20 weeks because just from walking. It was so severe, it would just cripple me. Like I would have to sit down and not get back up. it was just it was time consuming, and it sucked. It really sucked. And it was during summer too, so it was always hot, and you know, being pregnant, you're already like, you know, your body's super hot, and it was miserable. I had to drink more, and I was always so miserable. At the time I had a stroke, I had emailed my OBGYN after, but I woke up, my whole arm was numb. I was like, what the fuck? I was so confused. I went to go brush my teeth because I thought, you know, maybe I slept on it, like maybe it'll go away. I was brushing my teeth and it didn't go away. So I went and I woke up my boyfriend and I was like, hey, like, my arm is numb. And he was just like, you know, you slept on it. And I was like, okay, whatever, like, fine, I slept on it. And I just kind of ignored it. So I decided to, you know, try to, you know, just play on my phone and try to go back to sleep. And I couldn't read any text messages that people were sending me. My brain couldn't comprehend what they were saying. And the words were all jumbled, and the letters were all jumbled, and the words just didn't make sense. It felt like they were speaking a whole nother language to me, and I couldn't understand it. So I woke up my boyfriend and I was like, hey, like, can you read this to me? I don't know what it says. And so he's reading it, and I was like, what did you just say? Like, I have no idea what you just said. And then he would repeat it, and he's like, what do you want me to say? And I'm like, I don't know what you just said. Like, whatever that person is saying, I don't understand. And then he was just like, are you, like, you know, he started kind of getting annoyed and irritated, and he was like, are you serious? Like, is this a joke? And I was like, babe, I swear, I'm not playing with you. Like, I really don't understand what the fuck you just told me. Like, I don't get it. And then my words started jumbling. Like, my brain wasn't putting things in order. It was, like, mixing things up. And, you know, at the time, I didn't think it was anything serious. I just thought, you know, like, I'm still asleep. Like, something's wrong with me, but, you know, I just need to sleep it off. So my boyfriend actually started crying because he started getting scared, and he was like, are you serious? Like, you're not joking? And I'm like, I'm not joking, like, I'm serious. So I had emailed my OBGYN and told her everything, and she was like, yeah, like, that sounds like you had a stroke, like, you need to go to the hospital. But at the time she had said that, I had fell asleep for like 2 hours and woke up and my boyfriend was at work, and, you know, I didn't want to bother him at work, so I didn't go to the hospital, and I just thought I'd bring it up at my next appointment, which I did. But they shrugged it off, and they were like, yeah, that sounds like a stroke. But then they didn't tell me to do anything. They didn't say that they were going to do anything or anything. They were just like, you know, it happens. And I was just like, okay, like, something's wrong, but alright. So a couple weeks go by, I go to the next appointment, you know, everything's okay. I still have swelling. I tell them my feet are still turning purple. My legs were so big that they made sweatpants look like leggings. They were so swollen on me, and it was really bad. I couldn't fit any of my shoes. I couldn't fit my slides. I wore socks, and I would go out like that because I couldn't fit anything. I was so embarrassed. My feet looked huge, okay? I was way past kinkles. I would rather have kinkles than what I had. So time goes by, and I end up missing my 34-week appointment, or 32-week appointment, whatever it was. I just know I missed that appointment, so I didn't go to any appointment or anything for a whole month. And because I ended up going out for my birthday and staying out for a very long time at the beach and stuff to celebrate, which was, you know, a little bit better. It felt better. I felt a little bit better, even though I was still getting contractions from walking, and I had a big old belly, and I felt like I was gonna have a baby every moment of every day. When I finally got back into town, and, you know, I made an appointment for the next week, we ended up going, and I was about to be 35 weeks the next day, and my blood pressure was so high. They were like, you need to go to the hospital. They're like, you're about to have a heart attack or another stroke. Like, you need to go to the hospital. So I ended up going to the hospital, and they're like, we need to induce you. They're monitoring the baby, checking his heartbeat, and everything's, you know, he's okay, but I'm not okay. Like, they're like, we need to induce you, and we're gonna, you know, give you an ultrasound and all that, so you're having a baby today. And, you know, they left the room to kind of let me and him soak it in and stuff, and, you know, we weren't prepared. We did not have a crib. we didn't have preemie clothes. We had little from what we had from our baby shower, which did help for like a couple months, I guess. But we had to buy a whole new wardrobe and, you know, get things that fit for his needs. And they came in, and I had 8 before that because they said I could. But then the surgeon came in and was like, okay, we just want you to know, like, we're about to do surgery right now. And I was like, okay. And they're like, so did you eat? And I'm like, I did. And they were like, okay, well, then we can't have the surgery. So they had to postpone the surgery till 3 in the morning. And I'm all drugged up. I'm on magnesium. I'm on some other stuff to kind of numb my body and all that and get it prepared. And I just felt so shitty. I was super hot, and my family came down to support and visit and stuff. And, you know, they were a bit scared, but they were excited to meet him, and I was too. And, you know, we're just wasting time until it's time. And finally the time came, and I was just super drugged up, so things went really slow yet fast. It was exciting and scary, and I wasn't planned. Nothing was planned. I didn't have any plans for anything that was about to happen next. And I had him. Everything was horrible, okay? The surgery was, I guess, a success because, you know, nothing went bad. My C-section scar did heal correctly, but months after that, okay, so 4 days after that, he was in the hospital for 4 weeks, or 2 weeks, and in ICU, you know, just making sure he was ready and prepared for the world outside the hospital. And, you know, eventually he could do everything on his own, and we could take care of him, and we were ready. And I still had big problems with my blood pressure, even now. It was just, it's very hard on my body. The pregnancy was very hard on my body. It just felt like he completely drained me. I was just unhealthy after the pregnancy and during. But, you know, I'm getting a lot better, and I'm getting my health back up, and I'm trying to do the best I can to make sure, you know, when little things pop up, I'm going to the hospital. I'm not going to second guess myself, and I'm not going to just, you know, self-diagnose. But it was a very hard pregnancy, and being 18 years old, it was very hard on me to, you know, I just felt like I should have waited, and I felt like being young was the reason why this happened, which I don't think so. It was just, yeah, it was pretty crazy. I'm glad I have him now because he's as healthy as he can be, and he's a happy little baby, and he does everything a normal baby would do. And he's very smart and super sweet. Like, I just love him to death. I love him, I love him. His name is Atreus. And he is about to be 7 months next month. And I will be 20 years old this year in August. Nasty. But thank you for listening. And I will post pictures of the last picture I took while pregnant, and then the picture I took in the hospital before I had him, and then pictures of him after he was born. And he was born September 8th, and his due date was October 14th, I believe. It was a crazy ride, but it was definitely worth it. He was the best thing I've ever had, and I love him so incredibly much. And he is a perfect splitting image of him and of his papa. And so thank you for watching, and thank you for listening, and really hope you guys don't have to go through what I went through. But if you do, you are strong and you will make it through it. I really hope so. And, you know, just do your best, because, you know, just do your best.